So what I want to talk with you today is about how you can create raving fans who are excited to buy from you. And the reason why I'm talking about raving fans is because I want to help you to really build an audience of dream clients who really love what you're doing. About raving fans and not just an audience, a following, or some numbers or email addresses we're going to build up and style up. I want to talk about the quality of the people who are following you, because there is a lot in this community or in this online world out there in terms of the number. Business is just a numbers game, but I don't really believe that. Yes, it's true to some extent, but it also really depends on the quality of what you're putting out there. So if you have compared yourself on social media or online with someone out there who's a really successful online entrepreneur or a coach, and you've seen no matter what they're putting out there, people love it and then they're just buying. But you have the feeling they're just buying because it's from them. So no matter what they say, no matter what they do, they always are successful. And they have these people, this audience of raving fans. And I really want you to understand that it has nothing to do about that person, about that they are just the lucky one, or that has something to do about the way they look or the way they speak, but really about, and that's what I put it in a title, that they are creating raving fans. And today I want to give you the 3 ingredients in terms of how you can create raving fans for yourself, and even if you're just starting out. So forget about whether or not you're good enough or not enough. It has nothing to do with it. You have the ability to create raving fans. But there's one requirement though. And the one requirement is that you have to show up. It's really, really hard to create raving fans when no one knows you, when there's not the ability to be a fan or become a fan of yours if you're not putting yourself out there and show up. This is a topic for another day. So this is just the only requirement that I want you to have. Today in this video, I'm going to talk about more how you putting yourself out there, more about the context within it, so that you create these raving fans. So the very first ingredient is, and I like to refer it into the music industry as well, because you can see people who are having raving fans that are really successful artists, really successful singers. And I want to draw the line here in the difference between a really successful singer and just a one-hit wonder, because I want you to not just have this one piece of content that went viral and then no one was really interested in you, but rather having this singer, this really successful singer, people are loving and people are listening to the music over and over again and going to all the concerts. So in order to create that for yourself, the first ingredient you need is your voice. And the voice, you can really, you can have it as an example that it's pretty much the genre, this kind of the music style, the style of music you're going to pick for your content. So what it means in the online world is that your voice is pretty much your authenticity, how you're showing up, the frame you set around it, not necessarily the content within it, but more the frame around it, the kind of style you're producing. And that has all to do with your message. And your message is always based upon 2 things, which is your core beliefs and your core values. So when you combine your core beliefs and your core values together and communicating your message over and over again, so no matter what you're putting out there, it has somewhat to do with that message and your core beliefs, and also around the niche, like the people you're talking to. So that's pretty much the genre. And the reason why it's so important is because you want to create raving fans who have an interest in some particular thing. So when we're looking into the music industry, there are different genres where you can, where we have pop or jazz or rap or R&B or heavy metal. And you can see they can be quite different from each other. So obviously if you would jump around within your genre, within your voice and talking different things with your message, People, you wouldn't be willing to build an audience of raving fans. It's for me, and I want to give an example as well for me within my business. My core beliefs or my core values, which are personal but also professional for my business Bliss Unity, are passion. I really want to do what I love and help people do what they love as well. So having passion and having fun within their business, having the freedom, working from wherever they want, when they want, and being their own boss, building up their own business, and then having the success. Meaning by being successful in planning something and achieving it, having the sense of achievement and really getting a shortcut to get there instead of all the trial and error. So this is pretty much everything I'm talking about. These are pretty much my core beliefs. So everything is referring to that. And your belief is pretty much what you believe to be true. What I believe to be true is that every coach can be successful with the right strategy, with the right mindset, and the right support. And that's pretty much what I'm communicating and what I'm putting out there over and over again with every little piece of content. So this is your first ingredient, your voice, where you have the authenticity, where it's based on what you really believe in, what you really, really value, where you can build a connection with people because they're aligning, they're resonating with the same values, with the same belief, with the same message, pretty much. The second ingredient which you need in order to create raving fans is consistency. And this here is really the difference between a one-hit wonder, where there's just one hit, where you maybe might know the song, or for sure you know the song, but not necessarily the artist, and someone who has raving fans and someone who shows up consistently. Think about your favorite artist. It's pretty much your favorite one or your favorite singer or whatever because you love their music. It's not you love this one little song. It's like, no matter what kind of song they're putting out there, it's always in the same genre. And they're coming consistently out there, so you have more than one song to listen to. And that's pretty much for you as well. You don't only want to put one piece of content or one kind of thing out there. You want to be diverse. You want to be three-dimensional and not just putting something up there. People want to know that you're not just a billboard with just this one message around it, but you want to know that you're an actual human being and quite diverse, but keep coming up, showing up, and really show them that you are consistent so they can trust you and they can become raving fans because they really start to like more and more what you're doing. What I said before, the first requirement is that you're showing up, that people are going to know you, and the second part is about that people are going to like you, and that's what you do with consistency. And people are getting to know you and people are really learning to love what you're putting out there by being consistent. I can't really stress this enough. So it's not really thinking about this one time, put it up there and people are gonna love it and keep remembering you if you are not showing up the same way. And when you think that about your clients and the dream clients you want to attract within your business, you also want them to keep coming up and keep showing up for you. You want to keep them coming up and they're showing up within the session. So you kind of need to put up something as well. You need to put up the consistency up there as well. And the third ingredient in order to really consciously create raving fans who are really excited to buy from you is about the context. With the second one, the consistency, that it's pretty much about how many songs you're putting out there. And the third one is about binge-worthy content. So before it was the frame, what kind of voice you're having. And then we talked about the frequency, the consistency, about how many times you repeating your message over and over again. And then the context, the binge-worthy content is actually the core, the juicy stuff based on what you're actually saying within each little piece of post or video every time you show up. And that is this is pretty much the individual song. So we have the genre, we have how many times you're producing a song, and then we have the actual song. And the binge-worthy content is really what makes your song a hit or not. So obviously you can't just create heaps of songs, or let's say in the online world with your coach, obviously you can create a lot of content. And here I see a big difference, or mistake a lot of people are doing. They're creating content for the sake of creating content, to be busy in terms of, yes, I'm producing, I'm putting myself out there. But it's really important what you're saying. So it has to be aligned to your voice, to your authenticity, to your message, meaning your core beliefs and your values, which is your kind of style, staying in your niche, but also how you're going to help them. What are you actually saying? If you're just pointing something out, or is your content actually helpful? So in the very first part of that is really thinking about the topics to make content binge worthy, but also the style. And I want to talk about how to create binge worthy content a little bit more in next week, where you can join up in my live video, and I'm going to create that training in my Facebook group Bliss Builder. So make sure that you're joining the group in order to learn how to create binge worthy content. So this is one of the other important parts to get like a little bit more deeper into it as well. So these are pretty much the 3 steps you need in order to create raving fans. You need to have, and I'm just going to recap it, you need to have your own voice, meaning your message based on your values and your core beliefs. You need to be consistently and regularly showing up with your message to repeating it, so people are having the chance to like you, and also obviously trusting you because they can rely on you, that you're coming up and you're coming back over and over again. And the third part is the juicy content, really creating juicy topics and content that is binge worthy, where people can't get enough of it, where they want to have more, they're coming back for more. And I'm going to talk more about that in my Facebook group in the next week in the training. So make sure that you join in my Facebook group. And these are really much the 3 things you need to have in place in order to create raving fans who are excited to buy from you. But there's also what I said before, the first requirement in terms of showing up. And if you are struggling with showing up, with being visible, or having some confidence issues in order to put yourself out there, make sure that you just private message me or book a call with me so I can help you in figuring that out. This is pretty much it. Let me know which of these 3 ingredients you need to work on more. Do you need to have a little bit more experience in terms of developing your voice, your message? Do you need to show up more consistent? Or do you need to create more binge-worthy content? Really important, not just content for the sake of content, but actually binge-worthy content. Let me know in the comments, and I can't wait to see you in my Facebook group next week. Bye for now.